Edward Snowden said, "Your rights matter because you never know when you're going to need them." Hello, I'm Heiner, and I'm going to talk on how to talk to police. You may not agree with what Mr. Snowden did, but he's right to say that rights matter. As everyone has rights, but not everyone knows them. And knowing them is an essential tool when it comes to dealing with law enforcement. It is also essential to have good communication skills to avoid any misunderstandings. To make any interactions with police as smooth as possible. We are living in a time where interacting with police can be a nerve-wracking experience, whether you are a victim, witness, or suspect. Interacting with police requires good communication skills to avoid any misunderstandings and stay safe. But what are some good communication skills that you must have when it comes to talking to police? What can you do to de-escalate a situation in case a conflict arises? These are things one must be mindful when talking to police, as stress levels from both sides can get a little high due to the inconvenience of such interactions. Interacting with police for the most part will be an inconvenience, and as such, these situations will be dealt with emotions. It is very important to remain calm and to not make any drastic movements. Sometimes we find ourselves fidgeting with our fingers or objects, especially small objects that can be manipulated with the hands. According to our course textbook, page 176, these kind of movements are called manipulators, as we manipulate objects with our fingers. These movements help us relieve stress when we are feeling uncomfortable, anxious, or nervous. But these manipulators can put us at risk when interacting with police. According to an article by Devantius Robertson called 10 Helpful Ways to Interact with Police, it is important for individuals to always keep their hands visible, even suggesting to raise them up in the air if needed. Although we can find this position uncomfortable, Robertson also suggests that one should avoid hand gestures or talking with our hands. He states that although it may be difficult to talk without moving our hands, it is essential for our safety, as cops will react to any movement we make. Another very important rule to follow when communicating with police is to always be respectful. It is important to be respectful to police even if we are not being treated the same. To achieve this, one must have high emotional intelligence, or EI, as it takes a great deal of self-regulating our emotions to keep them in check, and in this case, not to lose our temper or create a conflict with the police officer. If a conflict does arise, try to remain calm to reduce the tension. Take deep breaths and remain silent. If you choose not to talk to police, you will not be reprimanded, as you are protected under the Constitution. According to the American Civil Liberties Union, or ACLU, you are within your right to remain silent, even if you find yourself being detained, arrested, or even in jail. You cannot be punished for refusing to answer a question. If you decide to talk to police, it is important to be truthful. Do not lie or make any false statements, as this could get you into trouble. Many people use self-serving lies to get out of trouble when talking to police. A self-serving lie, according to page 120 of our textbook, may involve omission, which is withholding information, or fabrication, which consists of deliberately fabricating a story with the intent to mislead someone for their own benefit. It is a crime to make false statements to police. If you find yourself in a situation where you may feel you may lie, it will be advised to just remain silent and avoid making a bigger problem. In conclusion, it is essential to be an effective communicator when interacting with police. Having these skills will not only make this type of interaction go smoothly, but they will also keep you safe. It is essential to always remember to remain calm, be respectful, and be honest, or use your Fifth Amendment and seek legal advice. We live in a time where trust for the police has been in decline, but it is important to remember that cops are doing a service to protect us and our community. Therefore, they will always try their best to communicate effectively with us. So always remember that being an effective communicator is a two-way street.